After an NLDS victory in 4 games against the Cubs, we are a series away from our second straight World Series appearance. This time, though, not going to need to go against the Braves, who were the best team in baseball for the second straight year, but this Giants team has built themselves a very impressive outfield through the draft. I'd even say their outfield's better than ours, which is saying something. I really like our outfield. But Jason Lindsay going 323 with 22 homers this year, one of just a few people to have a higher average than Neil Dorsey this year, one of the few people to ruin his triple crown. The other one was Salvatore Morales, who had an absolute breakout season this year. Not that he wasn't good. I mean, he's been hitting above 300 his entire career, but really provided an extra level of power. Went from good player to elite this season. Then you also have a Zach McKinstry, a Ken Mora. This outfield is insane, and I believe it's the driving force bringing the Giants to the NLCS, and it's fun to have a division rival play against in such a major spot here in this part of the postseason. The Giants were kind of down in the dumps with us at the beginning, and they've had themselves a pretty good rebuild now. Where they haven't maybe had as much success is in their pitching. They've lost their best pitchers, including losing their best pitcher, Kyle Harrison, in free agency last season to the Padres. I'm sure they wish they had him now, because he would make this team even stronger. The fact that their hitting is so strong and their pitching is so weak, I think makes for a chance for us to have some high scoring games, much like we did against the Braves in the NLCS last year. For this series, we're going to do it pretty similar like we did with the Cubs. We're going to hop into these games individually, and when there's some big moments, we'll hop in, but for the most part, we're going to be slow simming it. And with that in mind, let's get things started here. We're going to have Chase Dollander once more be the pitcher here in game 1. And of course, everybody with the days off between the series is at full energy. No need to make any changes here. Giants went 92-70 in the season. They have Salvatore Morales hitting in the 3 spot, and they do have him DHing, which is what I thought they would. Their entire top 5 is hitting 290 or higher so far in the postseason. So yes, it's definitely the hitting that has gotten San Francisco here, and a very formidable lineup that we will have to get the better of. We've got the home crowd behind us, courtesy of our number 2 seed heading into the postseason. And this team has played some really high-octane, fun games in the postseason here at Coors, and hoping for another one here. As I stated, Chase Dollander will be on the mound today. Went 7 innings last time with a 1 whip and a 3.86 ERA, 6 strikeouts. Hoping he can have a similar caliber of performance here against what is a better lineup. Starts it off with a strikeout there, but allows a single after that. Double play gets him out of the inning. Rockies come up, and Herrera gets himself in scoring position for Murillo, who flies out. And Dorsey gets the scoring started. Did not have a very productive NLDS, but gets things started with a bang here in the championship series. Being after that with a single, and that will end the inning, but a 2-run lead established early on. Dollander gets him down 1-2-3 with a couple of Ks there. Really good start to the game once more for him. Rockies unable to get anything in the second. That's kind of been a story that we've seen often. We get off to a good start in the first, but then the games slow down for us. We don't get some scoring going for a few innings after that. Hopefully we can keep the pressure on the Giants here. We're going to need it. This offense has a chance to make things tricky in a hurry. But with Dorsey going with a 2-run homer last time, this time having 2 more scorers and runners in scoring position, I think we hop in for the first time in this game. See if he can add to his RBI total again. Extra base hit here, or even just a base knock, could get him 4 RBI early here in this one. Getting ahead of the count this time, though, 2-0. Which at 32 pitches so far. Not doing a terrible job keeping that pitch count in a reasonable spot. Doesn't look like he's wanting to pitch at all here to Dorsey, but it's not like you get a major break there with Veen, although you do get to go lefty-lefty matchup, and Veen has not had quite as much success. One of the few players in the franchise who has developed better against righties. Not been an excellent postseason so far for Veen. Does have the 1 homer that he hit back in Game 1 of the NLCS. But has a grand slam opportunity here. See if he can make the most of it. Falling behind 0-2 with a nice pitch there top of the zone. And takes the circle change inside. Good eye there. You could tell my voice cracked there. My voice isn't feeling the best right now, but it's good enough, I think, to record the episode. I don't think I'm fully sick. It's just my voice has been really weird today. Oh, that one was a pitch to hit. Two. Risky take there. But he gets the favorable call. Full count now. And it'll be through the infield. That'll score 1 run. Another one rounding the bases. And Murillo is in standing. A 2-run single for Zach Veen. Off to a good start here in the series against the Giants, and you needed it. We hop back into simulation here. We getting out there with Kyle Brown, and that will be all that we score here in the inning. Caught stealing there with a throw from Solis. But 3 hits now allowed in the inning, and the Giants have a runner on third base. We do have 2 outs, though. And we get the third. The shutout continues through 4 innings for Dollander. Just been night and day, the difference in pitching. We did have maybe 1 or 2 struggles with the bullpen in the last series, but the starting pitching caliber so far this playoff run has been really commendable. Dorsey reaches via error, and that'll bring out Tyrell Moreno. Walk by Veen puts Dorsey in scoring position, but Kyle Brown unable to make anything of it. It will remain 4-0 headed to the 6th, and Chase Dollander continues to do his thing. Very quick 6th inning there, so let's head into the 7th. Allowing a walk there is Dollander, but he keeps chugging along. 7 shutout innings. If he's still out in the 9th, we'll have to watch it go down here. An Herrera single scores Brian Doe with all that speed. Extends the lead even more, but double play by Murillo after that. Allowing a single there and another single, so his energy's not looking too bad yet, but not a great start. Yeah, 2 runners in scoring position for Morales. Superstar. I think I want to see if he can keep the shutout going into the 9th. This is a guy that I want to see take some at-bats with just how awesome he was this year. Are you kidding me with that call? A guy who has a shutout going into the 8th, you're not giving him that call. That's some awful umpiring there. I just gotta say that. This one's popped up by Morales, and an 8th shutout inning for Chase Dolan. I forgot to see what his pitch count was, but I imagine he comes out for the 9th. Hasn't been the cleanest shutout yet. It has allowed 7 hits, but none of them have crossed home plate. So I think you'll take it. And we get 2 players who were hitless today, back-to-back singles, and now make it 3 straight players who were previously hitless. Can we make it 4? We'll have to get a pitching change first. Nope. Sterling Thompson will remain hitless. We do have 1 more hitless player, though. Brian Doe. He walks. Bases are juiced for Herrera. It's 6-0, but anytime you have an opportunity for a grand slam, I feel like you want to hop in and see if the player can do it. Especially with Herrera, who's 3 for 4 today. He swings at the first pitch and pops it up, though. So we head now to the 9th. And the Rockies do decide to switch pitchers here. Not going to give Chase the chance to get the complete game shutout. Again, I'm not sure where his pitch count was, so I don't know how much I agree or disagree with that. I forgot to check. But either way, the Rockies shut out the Giants. This high-profile offense was completely halted in Game 1. Meanwhile, the Rockies did what they needed to. Got a couple of good innings strung together and put the Giants away to take the 1-0 series lead here in the NLCS. 1 game closer to our 2nd straight World Series appearance. 10 hits on the board compared to the Giants' 7. Giants also had 2 errors today. Not going to complain about that. Gotta love Dorsey getting his first big-time hit of the postseason as well. Dorsey will be the starter here for Game 2. Gonna rock the City Connects this time out, it looks like. And we're ready to hop in. 455 for Clemente Herrera. This guy is just an automatic hit. Nearly. I mean, 455 isn't an automatic hit, let's be honest. It's half the time. But pretty much seemingly an automatic hit in the postseason. I love Clemente Herrera. Maybe a little bit disappointing there in the regular season. But if you can perform like that in the playoffs, I'll give you the 10-year contract no matter what you do in the regular season. Dorsey in his first start went 5 innings. Didn't actually allow a run. Had a pretty high whip, though. And I think kind of got bailed out of having some earned runs signed to him in that final inning. But only had 1 strikeout as well in his 5 innings pitched. Maybe not quite the high caliber of Dolan, or at least not yet. But we'll see if he can have a similar performance. Back-to-back groundouts here. Then Morales hits a triple with that 56 speed. But the fly out there keeps Giants off the board. Brian Doe with a strikeout here. Herrera with a walk. But, man, striking out the side there to start is pretty rough look for the Rockies offense. Luciano into scoring position now for Hassan Kim. Now in the 9th spot. He grounds out. Another walk here allowed. It's all been walks and strikeouts for Medina so far. And Ethan Salas, a 2-run blast, puts the Rockies on the board first here in the 2nd inning. Kyle Brown reaches via error the 3rd already of the series for the Giants, but he gets caught stealing. And Lindsey with a solo blast puts the Giants on the board for the first time here in the series. Morales now into scoring position for Sabal, and McKinstry ties things up. Brian Doe walks here, but immediately clears the base paths with the double play. 2-2 here. Might have ourselves more of a close game this time out. Dorsey with a walk. Bean with a single. We've got another scoring chance here. Salas, 2-run blast last time. Let's see what he does this time out. Can the Rockies retake the lead? Courtesy of Ethan Salas. 832 OPS so far. Oh, no, that was for the regular season, not the postseason. Definitely a step up from what he did the previous regular season. And Salas gets that one past the glove of first base. 1 run scores, and we've got 2 in scoring position. Rockies retake the lead, and Salas is having himself a day. Start this one off. Let's watch one more at-bat here before we head back to the simulation. I want to see Omar Figueroa and what he can do. Postseason averaging 350, over 1,000 OPS with a couple home runs. So continuing the success he had this regular season. Foul ball there makes it 1-1. As you can see, 27 home runs for Figueroa in the regular season, which was his career high. Beat it his previous career high by 1. And that's a nice pitch there. Getting that outside edge. 5th strikeout already for Medina. I think we'll hop back into the simulation here. Thompson with a double gets home 1 more run. It looks like was caught on the base pass there to end the inning. Top of the order back up for the Giants. This is the part of the order that really scares you. And you get a couple of singles here for Sabal, who out via fielder's choice. Runners on the corners. A walk loads the bases for Huey Drew. He's a member of the outfield that I didn't even think would play. Another guy that they drafted had one of those high starting overalls but low starting potential players. So hasn't improved much throughout his career, but has been in the MLB for quite some time now. This one caught by Figueroa on the dive, and Dorsey beats him to the bag. What a play from first base for Omar Figueroa. Voice cracking again. That's because I'm just so excited to see that caliber of play from the first base spot. Will be top of the order back up for Colorado. Though not having nearly as good of an NLCS as he did last time around. He caught stealing there after the walk. And we're back on defense here. But a 1-2-3 inning from Dorsey. And once again, we get our pitcher to go 6+ innings. Giants can't say the same here. Zach Bean, 2 for 2 today. All right, Bean having himself a really solid NLCS so far. 2-5 here now, heading into the 7th. Dorsey will come out and pitch it. And he gets another 1-2-3 inning. The pitching playing much better than expected here. Our starters keeping the bullpen as uninvolved as possible, which I think is a good thing, because as soon as we go to the bullpen, we get an RBI here. And we get 2 RBIs now in the inning. Just a 1-run game. Stolen base. Giants have an opportunity to tie this game up. I think we got to hop in now. Brett Martin not having himself a very good inning. This one is foul, luckily. Would have tied this game up had it stayed fair. That's a miss by Martin. Luckily, it's right at Kyle Brown. Just need to retire the 9-hitter now. And we will change pitchers. I think that's Very respectable. Ha-Seong Kim hitless today, 1 for 6 overall for the first 2 games. Strike 1 is in there for Lozano. I've really liked the way that we've kind of been treating these playoff series so far. Doing some salmon hopping into the moment. It's been a really fun way to kind of mix up the recording style. Last year, kind of by the end, the recording and editing of all those full games in a row got a little tiring by the end, but I gotta say, this is a nice change of pace. That being said, if we make the World Series, I will go back to showing full games because we haven't won the World Series yet. In the years following our World Series win, we'll probably be doing the entire postseason like this. But Lozano comes in, keeps the Giants off the board with a nice strikeout. And we take the lead into the bottom of the 8th, and Dorsey extends it with his 2nd home run of the series. He has shown up here, and you love to see it. Go 3 straight down after that. So now it's a closing opportunity for Lozano, or Rich Walsh, excuse me. That makes sense. Our closer comes in for the closing opportunity. And we're now away from securing the victory, but it is Salvatore Morales, who has a triple-double and single in this game. He's a home run away from the cycle, hoping he doesn't get it here. Let's see our closer finish this one out against the MLB's newest superstar. This one popped up. A long way to run for Doe, but he's got the speed. The Rockies win. Game 2 at home. Took care of business in front of the hometown crowd and will take a series lead to San Francisco. Excellent stuff. Once again, really on both sides. Our starting pitcher had another really good game. Brett Martin almost came in and ruined it, but 6 runs, back-to-back games for this offense. Not seeing, the super high scoring games. I wonder if that's a factor that we're just simulating most of it. I wonder if we'd be seeing more scoring when we watched. I don't know. I assume that sliders are still in play when you're simming the way that we are, but the fact of the matter is we did spend a lot of resources trying to upgrade our pitching in the last offseason. So far, it is paying off. As much resources as you can spend in a draft-only franchise, at least. Player of the game goes to Ethan Salas. That makes sense. He put up half of our runs here and really helped us get off to the lead in the start of the game. Dorsey, another very low strikeout start, but I mean, you take what you get. 7 innings, 2 runs allowed. It's certainly a good pitching performance. Now, part of me is tempted to go a little risky here for Game 3. We have not allowed Herb Reyes to pitch yet in the postseason, and with a 2-0 lead, we're going to pitch Jose Barreto. If we take a 3-0 lead, I might let Herb Reyes go out there and pitch a game in the postseason. A lot of the reasoning behind him not pitching so far was more tied to last postseason than it was to this regular season. So I do think he might deserve, a chance at the very least, but want to make sure it's a very low risk chance, which that feels like would be Game 4 if we lose today. Jose Barreto is a little bit of a risk himself with how he's played this year, but we know that we're more comfortable with his ratings at least. Just an excellent ballpark here in San Francisco. They were definitely on the short list for actually being the team I used here in the franchise because of this ballpark, but Ultimately, the Rockies were too perfect of a fit, and I don't regret at all choosing them. It's been an absolute blast. But seeing probably two of the top 3 or 4 teams that were in contention facing off in the NLCS is fun. Ken Waldachuk from our athletics franchise. He's got some serious break on his stuff. If his ratings are anything like they were in the last game. So we'll have to see how our offense does against him. Error, the 4th of the series already for San Francisco that have it. They've had at least one in every game. And an RBI here for Dorsey on the single here. Bean scores another one here, and it's another good first inning for this offense. How does Jose Barreto fare against this strong lineup? And we get Hernandez out trying to steal. Morales reaches with another single, but nobody gets past first base here in the first inning. And nothing doing for the Rockies. Every time we score in the first, we're not going to score in the second. That's just kind of a rule of this postseason. So far, yet again, so good for the pitching, though. 1-2-3 inning for the offense. And we followed up with a 1-2-3 inning for the pitching. Nobody doing anything on offense here in this kind of middle stretch of the game. 4 straight innings without a runner reaching until Brian Doe here gets a single. Herrera singles after that, and we've got a scoring opportunity for Murillo. It looks like Waldachuk will be taken out. Murillo very strong against lefties, so I can see why they would do this here, although his major development this year was hitting righties. So hopefully he can get a hit here. Murillo's been one of the guys who was excellent last series, but hasn't quite had the same impact against the Giants. Want to give him an opportunity to change that here with this scoring opportunity. Had a 955 OPS this year, which was actually slightly lower than it was last year, which is just insane. It's been an awesome 2-run stretch from Murillo. Hopefully he can keep it going for longer than these 2 years, of course. And that's a grounder. Will be a double play. We're out of the inning with nothing doing. He drew with a single. Hitting for some decent contact for this Giants squad, but caught stealing again. Runner now in scoring position. And the Giants are on the board here. Fielder's choice will end the inning. Dorsey pops it up here to start the bottom of the 6th, and Veen's caught stealing. These guys just should stop stealing on both sides. Neither team can steal a base here. And the Giants take the lead. Much like we've seen with Barreto, he'll just have one inning where he'll just lose everything. And we make the change. Doesn't matter how good he's been prior to that. He will lose all of his confidence at the drop of a hat. Really disappointing. We've seen it so often now for a guy who has so much potential. You wish he could handle the adversity just a little bit better. So we get to the top of the 9th. The Rockies are down by 1. We've come up clutch in these situations before. Last postseason, haven't really been tested too much with it this postseason yet. We've got Neil Dorsey to the plate to start the inning off. One for 3 today. It was a home run. 72 miles an hour on the curve. This guy is definitely a high break pitcher. Yeah, that slider has a ton of break. I want to see this guy's ratings. see. It is Walker, right? Yep, Walker. Yeah, he's got 99. He's got 99 velocity. That doesn't make sense. What has he got 99 velocity on? His fastest pitch is 91 miles an hour. But 98 break, as expected. Fouled off there and behind 1 and 2. Good take to even up the count now. This one fouled off. I mean, just a tough pitch to get a hold of there. Fouled off another. He's battling, that's for sure. Faced 6 pitches already. Does not want to go down. That's going to be popped up by Dorsey. Huey drew underneath it and out number 1. Top of the 9th. And Zach Veen gets something going here. Numbers have improved greatly from the start here of the series. Oh. That was hittable. He couldn't quite time it up perfectly. Falling behind 0 and 2. And the slider gets him swinging. This guy's stuff has been problematic for our lineup so far. I mean, look at all that break. So it comes down to Kyle Brown, who has not been good in the postseason. Nor today. Strike 1. Just 174 in the postseason. I mean, I put him up to 6 because he was having himself a solid regular season, but maybe he deserves to go back down here as the ground out there will secure the Giants' victory. Very unique pitching there from a closer, and it works out for San Francisco. It will not be swept here. So far, the home team has won all 3 games. Redo started off the game bad, but once the other team gets something going, his confidence plummets quickly. He ends up with the loss here today. Yeah, he technically gets a loss, but I mean, Colorado scored 2 runs in the first inning and didn't score for the rest of the game. I'm putting this one on the offense much more than I am on Barreto. I think going, allowing 3 innings through, 5 complete innings pitched. Certainly not great, but not going to usually be the reason that you lose. But it was in this case. So with us now only being up a game, we're not going to Herb Reyes here. We're going to James Ungerer instead. Dorsey has gotten some of that energy back. These averages aren't quite the same that we had last postseason. The offense certainly hasn't been a problem for the most part, except for, of course, this last game. But it hasn't been the dominating force that it was heading up to the World Series last time, where I feel like, 6 or 7 of our players were hitting into 300s. It was crazy. And again, I think the simulation does play some role in that. Going to be Bubich back out for the Giants. Didn't he pitch game 1? So they've already gone back to a the guy they've pitched already in this series. Brian Doe with a double. And Dorsey with a 2-run homer. And for the third time in 4 games, the Rockies get a 2-run first inning. We have to be better after that, though. Jason Lindsay in scoring position. Morales grounds out, and nothing doing for the Giants. We actually at least get a man on base in the second. We usually don't do that. Single here for Luciano, and the Giants are down. Scoreless again. Doe steals himself into scoring position, and we waste that opportunity here. Double play there. Makes another scoreless inning for Ungerer. Once again, man, the offense just can't do jack. McKinstry with a solo blast. Makes it 2-1. And now with a runner in scoring position, Luciano has a chance to tie the game. What's up with the offense starting well and then just crapping the bed after that? It's happened every game. Very straight up and down stance here for Luciano. Makes for a pretty tall strike zone. He's not a short player by any means either. Falling behind 3-1 here. Count runs full for Luciano, trying to bring home the tying run. Ungerer trying to end the inning, but we're not going to get either scenario there. It's a walk. Bryce Eldridge heading in the 8th spot for San Francisco now. First round pick back in 2023. That one is strike 2. So far, very good way to start the at-bat for Ungerer. Excellent control. Getting ahead, now we got to finish it. Likes the location on that pitch there. Ends up getting the pop out for the end of the 4th. Rockies remain on top, but the offense has to actually please wake up and do something. It's unacceptable to just go this many innings without doing anything. And once again, we go down 1-2-3. Lindsay's in third, and now the game's tied. You can't just come out and score in the first and then fall asleep. Baseball isn't 1 inning, guys. Come on. Bases loaded for Salas. San Francisco will switch over to Ethan Small, going with a lefty-lefty matchup here. One out. Bases loaded. Oh, man. That was right over the middle. Salas being aggressive. He's swinging at the pitches, just can't get a good read on him. And then he swings through the slider. I mean, that was a missed opportunity for sure. Salas got pitches to hit. We can't go another scoreless inning here. Figueroa, a grand slam! Puts the Rockies back on top. 408 feet on the Monster Blast. You'll love to see it. The Rockies were desperate for somebody to come through big, and Figueroa answers the bell. I understand you bring in the lefty for solace, but the guy batting after him, Figueroa, much better against the lefties. Crushed them this year and crushes them in a big spot, in a much-needed spot in Game 4. Robbie Barreto out for the Rockies for the first time here in the postseason. It's the first time that I can remember. Back-to-back walks here, and Veen brings them both home with a double. The Rockies. This is more kind of the scoring pace I was expecting here in the postseason. And now the Rockies offense has come back alive, back-to-back 4-run innings, and they're not done quite yet. Now we are 10-5 now here as we head into the 7th. We got 2 on scoring position. I haven't seen Robbie Barreto pitch yet, so I just want to hop in right here, see Barreto pitch. It's also a very good scoring opportunity for San Francisco here. Want to see if Barreto can get himself out of this jam. Say ball, that's going to be fair. That'll score 2 San Francisco runs, making it 10-7. This is the first kind of shootout game that we've had in the postseason. 17 runs on the board already, and still got some time left here in this game. But Barreto unable to pitch out of the jam at all. Instead gives up both of those runs. Still have a 3-run lead here heading into the 8th. Brian Doe with an automatic double. Herrera, just after I praise him for being automatic, he's hitless. So is Murillo, unfortunately. Dorsey gets another RBI and his second hit today. Kopech in here now. He will get subbed out. Trying to go with the lefty against Hernandez, and it works out for us. Top of the 9th now. Can we add any additional runs? Brown's caught stealing. So it'll be a 4-run lead here in the 9th. He's not looking great for Sal Frank here. We go to Rich Walsh. He gets the strikeout there. We're an out away from securing the victory. The Giants are also a swing away from making this a 1-point game. We have a 99% chance to win. Don't show me that. We've had that before and we've blown it. I don't want to see that. All I want to see is Rich Walsh put this game away. Hanging curve there. Luciano decides to let it go by him. Walsh is ahead 0-2. And that was low. Kyle Brown can't bring it in. That's going to bring home the 8th San Francisco run. Now the tying run is at the plate. And it's Bryce Eldridge, hitless today. Right over in the middle. Not loving some of these pitches by Walsh here. Hasn't had to pay for the hanging curve or the cutter left over in the middle. What? Yeah, that's a pitch I like. Gets him strike number 2. Upstairs. Maybe trying to reset the eyes for something low here. And it's by him at 94 miles an hour. The Rockies win Game 4 and take a 3-1 series lead. over the Giants. We're a win away from victory and a World Series berth. Before we hop into this next game, I do want to see the status of the AL series here. Omar Figueroa, his grand slam, massively impacting the win today. Our offense had done nothing since the first inning. We were in the 6th. 2 gone, bases juiced, and he clears them. It will give Neil Dorsey player of the game, but I honestly think I would give it to Figueroa because I think we lose the game if he does not hit a grand slam there. I think that added some momentum back into our offense. I don't think we have 4 runs in the next inning without that play. Yankees do have a lead over the Rangers, so if we make the World Series, likely a rematch against the Yankees, who I hate. So that'll be good. For this game, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to be a little risky here. And I'm going to start Herb Reyes. I might come back to haunt me here. But I'm going to start Herb Reyes here in Game 5. If he loses, we'll still have a 3-2 series lead. We'll just need to win one of 2, which I feel confident we can do with Dollander and Dorsey after this. But I want to give Herb Reyes one chance to redeem himself over the horrendous postseason he had last time out. Pitcher on the other side will be Joe Whitman. Pitched 5 ERA, went a 1.6 whip in the regular season this year, so this should be a guy we can get some serious offense off of. Starting off with a fly-out grounder, and we're down 1-2-3 to start. Automatically off to a bad start here with the leadoff double allowed, but he gets out of it, so I'll take it. So far, this Whitman character's keeping us off the board hit-wise, despite the fact that he sucks. The Giants strike first. I believe this is the first game they've striked first here of the series. So far, maybe not looking so good for Reyes. And the offense goes hitless through the order. This guy sucks. Get our first hit finally, and then we get caught stealing. You got to be kidding me. When offense is coming so few, you don't lose outs on the base paths, man.
Take your base.
Still just 0-1. And Figueroa, hero last game, finally gets us on the board this time as well. We desperately needed something to go right. Now we're starting to build a little bit of an inning here. They go with Will Bednar, and Clemente Herrera instantly crushes it. We're up 5-1. A walk for Murillo, double play by Dorsey. I mean, this inning is going really well. A triple by Kyle Brown. Screw it. Let's hop in. Let's hop in. Up to a 94% chance to win. I think it's still too early in the game to say something that definitive. And will we try to steal? Nope. I'm going to hold at third there. Butcher did a good job coming up and covering the bag. Fouls one off to even up the count. What an inning for Colorado. We've gone through the entire lineup. Salas already walked earlier on in the inning. Trying to get a hit. This one is tapped to first, and we get to witness the end of the stellar inning. Reyes still in the game. Still only allowed that one early run so far. Double here to Mora, and he's through 6. Hey, six innings allowing one. That's a really good inning here for... sorry, a really good outing for Herb Reyes. I'm going to take that all the time. Sal Frank into the game here in the 8th. We'll stick with the lefties. And so far, so good. Zach Veen adds to the lead with another homer here. Kyle Brown with a walk. Really weird offensive game. You're seeing a lot of guys hitless. Been a lot of walks and home runs. It's kind of been what we've been doing for the most part here. 8-1 in the 9th inning here. And the Rockies come up victorious 8-1 to round out and finish off the Giants on the road. Played it risky, starting Herb Reyes, but he pitched well. The offense was good enough in stretches. Certainly kind of a hot and cold offense, I would say. Really, throughout this entire episode, we'd go stretches of like 4 or 5 innings, and sometimes, in the rare case of our loss, 8 straight innings without doing anything, but then we'd explode. This isn't that consistent offense that's going to put up 1 or 2 an inning. It's like we're putting up 4, we're not putting up anything at all. Which is, I think, the kind of play that made us struggle against the Yankees. I think we need more consistency on offense than what we get at times. Because when the bursts don't come, you end up just losing to you know, a team that has good pitching. And so we are headed back to the World Series for the 2nd consecutive year, rooting for the Rangers. I don't want to play the Yankees again. That hurt my soul. Who do we face? It will be the Yankees, a World Series rematch. Hopefully it goes better this time around. Let's get an updated look at that roster now. I mean, their pitching still very good. Still got Shane Bieber out there. He has regressed a bit, so hopefully we can do better against him than we did last year. Kyle Bradish, Chase Hampton, Tristan McKenzie make a really, really good 4-4 starting pitchers. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We struggled at times to hit these Giants pitchers who were going to be 10 plus overall lower. You know? So going to have to show up more consistently here. Looks like Cruz went down a little bit this year. Okay. Interesting. I'm sure see Aaron Judge all the way down to an 81 at this point. Not quite the power hitter. Don't get me wrong though, he'll still hit you for some power. Not really a good fielder with this very short infield. I don't think it'll matter. So really similar to the team that we faced off last time. I don't think they had Melendez though. So Melendez will be an addition. They did have these guys. They had all these guys. So yeah, really similar with the exception of the fact that they have Henry Davis. They didn't have Henry Davis, I don't believe, and they didn't have MJ Melendez. We're pretty much the same team that we were last year. The addition of James Unger is our big one in that 4th spot. And I think having Michael Kopech in the bullpen has been good. So we'll see. I'm excited for the chance to be able to come back and beat the team that beat us last year. But man, if it's close to how it was last time, that was just a tough series to watch at times. Our offense could not get anything going throughout that series. Hopefully things change this time out, and hope you're excited to see this World Series rematch. I certainly am. And I will see you then. Go Rockies.